And usually these rebrands take a lot of time. I mean, Lego took 2 years to come up with this new design philosophy.
We have two amazing creators beyond the brick. For brick builders, engagement is higher, but views are still. What's happening? Where are the kids? Why aren't the kids? Look at the number of likes, which has just shot up. It was at 1.52k. Now it's close to 5k. So clearly the recent videos have been doing very well. Some interesting things happening where you have a pretty decent intent to buy, which is at 13.43%, right? But your audience sentiment,
it's weird.
If I'm a brand manager at Lego, a bit of an alarm bell yet again, so I'm not getting a very good feeling when it comes to. As a child, there are a few things that you love more. Only a very few things that you love more than your blocks. Your building blocks of creativity. You see them lying around, you hope that you don't hurt your toe with it. And you sincerely hope that if you're playing with one, you build something bigger and better. And then when you grow as an adult, you realize that, oh, it's a proper brand. It's a brand that goes beyond just kids. I'm obviously speaking about Lego. But why are we speaking about Lego right now? Well, because recently Lego went through a rebrand. Their logo didn't change, but Interbrand, in association with Logo's in-house creative agency, our Lego agency is called Ola. So they rebranded a lot of things and they looked at new brand identities, a new DNA, new principles. All that we'll speak about. But a rebrand is great at a surface level, but how do you communicate that rebrand to your customers, to your consumers, to your viewers, to your watchers? That is what we'll figure in this episode of Influencer Matchmaking. We have two amazing creators, both have the word brick in them. But before going to those two creators, and we'll be using insightIQ to understand what these creators are like and whether or not they are perfect for Lego's rebrand and whether or not Lego can do a campaign with them, a marketing campaign with them. But before all of that, I want to introduce Shubham. Shubham, how's it going? What are you building today?
Well, I'm trying to recall the pain of stepping on to, Lego pieces.
Not a good memory.
When I was a kid.
Not a good memory.
Yeah. And, surprisingly, I don't even remember hearing the word Lego because what I played with was, in a way, Lego pieces.
Sure.
But it was not, the same stuff. It was in the, copied and cheap, remakes of Lego.
Sure. The copycats.
So, I think, so it feels in a way, the term Lego feels a bit foreign, but when you actually play with Legos, it's like it takes you right to your childhood.
Absolutely. It takes you right to your childhood. And Shubham, what really attracted me to Lego and why we picked Lego as a brand is also we have some relation when it comes to the previous few episodes of Influencer Matchmaking that we've done. The first is, of course, the term block, right? Like block by block. That is something which is a very big part of Notion's design ecosystem, right? Because they keep speaking about blocks and building blocks.
Good catch.
So, that's with Notion. And rebranding, Shubham, we recently covered Decathlon, right? Decathlon, which is, of course, going through such a big rebrand where they've actually changed their logo as well. They've introduced a logo, not just changed, but introduced a logo system, which was great. So a combination of both those two episodes has happened with Lego. And as people say, when it comes to Lego is also a nice way of saying let's go. Like it's a short and abbreviation. Lego. So we shall Lego and look at two fun creators who can, speak about the brand. And I quickly, Shubham, want to go through, their 5 principles, which I think are very iconic and something that I think will be a big guiding light for creators. And I think for the marketing experts as well, for the creators who want to be a part of these campaigns, I think they will have to look at these 5 design principles because, this is something that they will be using across, right? This is something that Lego will use this in briefs, in creative briefs, or whatnot. So we just want to quickly go through that. So the first design brief is design for your audience. Then is build from its systems in play. Third is tell stories. Fourth is be playful and optimistic. And fifth is keep it simple. So of course, these brand principles are like, they can mean a bunch of things to a bunch of people. But just having these in mind, just as if you're in branding and if you have these principles, it just ties the system very well, right? It just ties everything together. And we'll be, watching these two creators and hopefully they can have a match.
Yeah. And system in play is their, biggest motto.
Sure.
That's the number one thing that they look for in any redesign, any philosophy. So let's see if the philosophy is there in these two creators as well today.
Absolutely. And Shubham, you also had a great point about design that we were speaking about, which I really want you to mention.
Oh, yeah.
So what was that? Because I really got fascinated by it, but yes.
Yeah. So you were just mentioning, Decathlon's rebrand and everything. And usually these rebrands take a lot of time. I mean, Lego took 2 years to come up with this new design philosophy, which is in consistency with their, the core, the 5 principles that you mentioned. I was saying, like, I love it when a brand spends a lot of money on design. It reaffirms my belief that we still care about beauty in our world,
Absolutely.
right? People, a lot of time, a lot of companies don't understand why, you're spending so much money and so much money in doing something that is not seemingly very visible, right? But it's something that you feel inside. And I really love this aspect of big brands.
Absolutely. No, I completely concur and agree to that, because design to me is also a very personal thing that, I love it when brands really understand the power of design and that it can move mountains and can actually have such a great build for your brand equity. And it's long-term brand building. It might not show up in your current profit and loss statement, but certainly if it's done well, if it's done right, keeping the right intentions, it can move mountains and it can do very, very well. Shubham, we have two creators that we want to speak about, right? Both have, I think this is the first time that they have similar names, right? But they have very different content styles, as we'll discover. But who do you want to go for first? Do you want to go for Beyond the Brick? Do you want for Brick Builders? What should we do?
Let's start with Brick Builder. Then we'll go to the Beyond the Brick.
Awesome. Let us do that then. Done. Shubham, Brick Builder, what do you think about the logo?
Logo is very interesting. It's sort of Minecrafty, I would say.
Minecrafty. Very, very Minecraft. That's the first thing that I came up with Lego speed build videos, right? And of course, English is this language spoken. The engagement rate is,
much lower.
Quite low. It's 0.1% lower than medium. You are at 0.04% as an engagement rate. Healthy number of subscribers, I would just preface that. But if you're ranging at 90K average views per video, then I don't think that's a very healthy,
because I was coming to this only, Shri. Like, more than the engagement rate, the average views per videos, that is concerning, because Legos, kids should be watching these videos, left, right, and center, right? It's like those videos that little kids watch on loop, like Baby Shark, right? They have billions of views. And clearly they can't engage, they can't like, they can't comment, right? They'll just see and build their own stuff. They should have been 900K per video.
Absolutely. Agreed. Average views are really concerning. And what you said, Shubham, really corresponds to this feeling, which is look at when their top content has been released. 2019, 2020, 2019. So clearly we've seen that there has been some time since they've hit, of course, they've still been making videos, but since they've hit that top mark, which was, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, that again is a bit of a warning bell. Sure, you're still consistently making videos, but they're not hitting, quite as hard as they used to.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And now let's go to this, Shubham, where some interesting things happening where you have a pretty decent intent to buy, which is at 13.43%, right? But your audience sentiment, that is...
It's really weird. Where is this, negativity coming from? I mean, it's Legos. Come on.
Correct. Why are people negative? Of course, the intent to buy here obviously is with these Lego products itself. So I'm guessing that there are some people who are super fans who are like, you know what, I love it, I'm going to buy it. So either you have those people who are going to who are perhaps kids, perhaps their parents, that they love the products, they love the videos, and they're like, you know what, I'm going to buy it right away. And you have some people who are completely like, you know what, no, it's not working. It's not.
I would say these negative comments are accidental negative comments by, kids.
Sure, might be, or some competitor brands who are like, Lego can't take away so much. Perhaps it's from Play-Doh or something, I don't know. But
I don't even know the competitors' names of, Lego.
I don't either. It's just
such a big brand.
Yeah, like Lego's a huge brand and they've done some really interesting stuff. So really cool to see how intent to buy is high. And we don't get to see this usually, folks, in influencer matchmaking, where your intent to buy is, on the higher side, but your comments are a bit negative. So that needs to be further investigated on. But clearly, if I'm a brand manager at Lego, a bit of an alarm bell yet again. So I'm not getting a very good feeling when it comes to Brick Builder. 44% positive. But let's continue. Let's give Brick Builder what they deserve, which is our time. Let's go to growth and interests.
Growing at a steady pace.
Shubham, we've seen, a rise of 100K odd subscribers, from 2.6 to about 2.7, close to 2.7, of course, not really reached that mark. Then you also have, and clearly, again, as with every episode of Influencer Matchmaking, we've had the depths of January and December and, the hockey stick, as it were. But it's still come through. So some really contradictory things happening here where your likes and subscribers have gone up. So clearly people are liking the recent videos, but your videos haven't really hit the mark as they used to.
It's
But
weird.
your intent to buy is high, but your audience
Yeah,
sentiment is actually a bit low.
negative.
So a bunch of things happening here.
Ah, it's a very strange creator, I would say.
Very, very strange creator. And I think one clue, one reason I can sort of hypothesize is that it's a faceless creator. Big Builder does not show their face at all. It's just, this construction of these videos happening. And so I'm guessing perhaps, this might be one of the reasons why you might feel like, what, I don't know, I don't have a connect with this person yet. I like some of their stuff. So it's a bit of a dilemma for sure. But we're not done yet, folks, because we're still to cover audience and gender distribution. Look at this. 74% male, which is quite high. Russia, for the first time
Wow.
on Influencer Matchmaking, Russia has occupied this. Why
Yeah,
do
they
you
have
think
appeared for the
that?
first time.
Well, I don't get it.
I mean, Russians are clearly into building stuff, or at least
Sure.
seeing, miniatures of the things that they want to build, I guess.
Sure, absolutely. Because it remains to be seen why Russia and US, which are obviously have always been at loggerheads, they are occupying the first and the second spot, which usually doesn't
The
happen.
interesting,
India, yeah,
the interesting thing is the absence of India and the inclusion of Indonesia, because
yeah,
that's really
Indonesia.
weird.
And look at this, Shubham, Poland. What is with
Poland, Vietnam.
India is literally down below, which never happens, folks. We are a country which has a huge population, so you will not see us in lagging behind at 9th or 10th spot for anything, for any genre, for any video, for any creator. You can take this on record, right? But here, for
See,
some
I'm telling
reason,
you, the reason is very simple. We have copycats of Lego here in India. People haven't even heard of Lego, but they've been playing with it,
sure, that's a good
like
point,
me.
and that relates to your own childhood and my own childhood as
Yes.
well, right? Where we of course played with a version of Lego,
Yeah.
but not really Lego. So people don't
Lego.
have that
Yeah.
affinity, and perhaps it's only the top class about people. Oh, my father got me a set from London when he was at the
Yeah.
Star
Yeah.
Wars
True.
premiere. So clearly that's happening. Not a very big hit in India. What do you feel about the gender skew, Shubham? Because it's at 74% male, very very heavily male dominated,
Yeah.
although not extremely, like not a 90%.
These are legacy companies, and I was really, surprised that it started in 1932. So,
Sure.
and the early marketing years, let's say first 50 or 60 years, they were clearly marketing towards, boys will play with this, girls will have Barbies, right?
Barbie.
So I think it's the impact of the legacy marketing of these
Yeah.
companies, toy companies.
Actually, that's a great point that you raised, which is legacy marketing has perhaps played a part, even creators having gender skews. Last point, of course, this is interesting because, of course, I was hoping for the 13 to 17 to be slightly higher, but perhaps by
Yeah,
this age, people have
that's a problem.
lost that behind. Yeah, and here you have 45% is 18 to 24. So again, can't deduce much about this creator, to be honest, Shubham, because when you're at 45%, you're addressing a young college crowd or just graduated from school crowd or a first job crowd, and it's weird. 45% is quite healthy, like a quite a big number, but you also have 31% in 25 to 34. So,
Wow. That's the problem right there.
yeah, I'm like, is this really happening? I would expect, what I would expect though, is if there were people from 35 to 44 with a high viewership, I would see that as a positive because that's perhaps the parents who are showing these videos to their kids. Right?
Yeah.
And that's always a good sign that, I'm a parent and I'm showing this to my kid, to my 5-year-old, to my 6-year-old, and they're having a great time. They're enjoying. So this to me is a bit of an anomaly. I will not lie.
Yeah. And I would also say, Shri, here, like the age demography is starting from 13 to 17, right?
Sure.
It should, for Lego, start from 5 to 12 and then 13 to 17, right?
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure even what we see here at 18 to 24, 20 to 34 are the parents who are showing the content to their kids, or kids are using the device of their parents.
Absolutely.
But still, that main segment is from 5 to 12. That is
That's
which is
the main
not
catchment area. That's the
shown
main,
here.
absolutely. That's the main audience. That's
Because
there.
teenagers don't play with Lego, right? Teenagers are not going to play with Lego.
I don't think so. They've outgrown that. But
Yeah.
overall, what are your thoughts, Shubham, with this creator, with Brick Builder, Lego speed build videos, very plain, simple content style. But what are your thoughts overall?
Yeah, I mean, a bit underwhelming, especially the number of views. I mean, I would have worked with all the contrarian, signals from this profile had he or she or had this person, had 900 or 1 million views per video, because that's the kind of obsession kids have with the videos that they like, right? So clearly, I mean, for me, it's not a match, I would say.
It's not. Yeah. No, actually, great points right there, Shubham. Not a match for sure. But we're not done yet, folks, because we're yet to come to our second creator. We have Beyond the Brick. First things first, Shubham, have to mention, love the logo that they have, the world's largest Lego fan community.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But it's a nice play. YouTube, they're paying homage to YouTube and Lego with that little brick out there, Beyond the Brick. So love that.
Yep.
1.45 million subscribers, engagement rate is higher, but Shubham, views are still, what's happening? Where are the kids? Why aren't the kids watching stuff?
I think, these channels have geeks as their audience members, right? People who are in their 30s, 40s, obsessed with Legos, trying to build a rocket ship, trying to build a battleground, right? So they're not exactly catering to kids. I don't know why kids are not watching Lego. Have they outgrown this company? I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Might be that they have outgrown it, because clearly the average number of views could have been better. Top rated content, of course, is more recent, and it's also, interestingly, Shubham, what I noticed is that it's short form content. So Beyond the Brick has capitalized on short form content, and they've done recent videos have done really well. Like, look at the number of likes here. You have close to a million likes on these videos. Here you'll actually have a million, playing with a bunch of Lego, interfaces, and offline, online, just creating that phygital space, as it's called these days, where you have physical experiences and digital experiences coming through. So that I feel is very interesting. And that can be used for campaigns as well. Right after that, we have the comments analysis, Shubham, where again we have two things: the intent to buy, the audience sentiment. The intent to buy is at 5%. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, much less. But audience sentiment is fine. It's better, I would say, but not exactly. Yeah,
it's a 75%. So I think it's better than the previous creators. But what's up with the intent to buy? It's only at 5% and not that high. It's not too good. Yeah.
True. I mean, see, one more thing about Lego is that you have to, you can build various kinds of stuff, right, with basic pieces. So maybe that's why you're not looking to buy new every time. You're just looking to build something new with what you have. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. All right, let's go to growth and interest, Shubham, because here again, some interesting numbers that we see. We have growth. We have a bit of growth here when it comes to from 1.37 to sort of 1.45 million, which is very interesting, which is very impressive. And look at the number of likes, which has just shot up. It was at 1.52K. Now it's close to 5K. So clearly the recent videos have been doing very well.
Yeah. Whatever they're doing with short form, maybe I guess it's working well for them.
It is absolutely working very well for them. So kudos to them. Kudos to Beyond the Brick for doing this. The gender distribution. Let's see if Russia has a play here or not. 84% are male, 16% are female. Audience, US is at 35%. Russia is there. So is Poland. And India, folks, is at 1.3%. So clearly, this is not for Indians. US,
this
UK,
for
France,
Anglophone countries. Yeah, Anglophone countries.
Absolutely. That's the whole Anglo-Saxon. That's the catchment area, because you have the UK, you have the US, you have France, Australia, Canada, Commonwealth countries as well. You have EU countries, Germany, Russia, Poland. So clearly, white Caucasian viewership is what these channels are sort of preferring, because sure, you also have a bit of Philippines and Brazil and Indonesia, but
that's very,
it's not attracting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the price points are also, I think, a big factor here. So Lego, if they're rebranding, if Lego is rebranding, then they have to go for these markets. India is clearly not at all developed, not at all mature for Lego to go. And these creators are speaking to the US audience, so that's not much of an issue for them. So they're doing great that way.
Yeah, exactly. The price point that you mentioned is a very big consideration for people here in India, or people like Indonesia, Italy, Sweden. So overall, I mean, it represents the how Lego is perceived in this world, right? The company, mostly for Anglo-Saxon countries, as you mentioned.
Correct. Anglo-Saxon is what takes the cake, but we're not done yet. Shubham, the very last piece of statistic, which is about age distribution. What do you think it's going to be like? Do you think, let's take a guess, let's take a wild guess. I also haven't seen the age distribution. So do you think it's going to be more of the 18 to 24-year-olds? Do you think it's more 13 to 17? I have a feeling that 13 to 17 will be a better skew here. But what do you think?
I mean, for Brick Builder, it was close to 9% for 13 to 17. I think it will be a bit higher, around 12%, but not much of a difference, I guess.
Okay, that's a good guess. Let me see how true we are and how not. What?
Oh, Wow. Okay. And how much is the? Okay, it's much less than. It's like 6% only.
6%, you have the Twin Towers, as it were. But what's happening here? I don't get it. This is literally, it's the same for 18 to 24-year-olds and 25 to
Yeah.
34-year-olds, which is at 37%. You have 16% as 35 to 44. What is happening?
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult, I guess. When kids are your viewers, right? Then it's very difficult to gauge the age distribution because you don't know whose device they're using.
Exactly.
So I would
Perhaps
not,
it's
if I were a brand manager, I would not take this very seriously.
sure.
Yeah,
No, I think perhaps it's a bunch of those people in 25 to 34, they have their first kids, right? Because it's for some people, of course,
yeah,
some people are getting married, but for some, they're also getting their first newborn and the first child coming through.
right.
So I think this might be a segment which is appealing to them, which is that, the 25 to 34. So a bunch of interesting stats that we saw here. Beyond the Brick, of course, has a more holistic approach to content creation rather than the first one, which is Brick Builder. But overall, Shubham, what would you say? Overall, what would you say is the winner, or who is the winner for this round of influencer matchmaking? Beyond the Brick or Brick Builder?
I mean, they mostly have, sort of similar, numbers, but the contrarian vibe that we were getting was more with Brick Builder. I would go with Beyond the Brick, but with, specific projects. Let's say if they are coming out with let's say Wimbledon is happening and they are preparing a Wimbledon, court, right?
Oh, nice.
Then they can go with creators like him for one
Nice.
product only,
Nice,
right?
nice. I think that's a cool idea because Lego also does so many tie-ups and partnerships and
Yeah,
associations. So clearly, Beyond the Brick can sort of snag one out of the way. And I think that's a great approach that you have one project and you're working on one project with Beyond the Brick rather than doing a very huge deal with them. So I think that's a great suggestion. And folks at Lego, if you've heard Shubham's idea and if you liked it, please do not forget to sort of send some funds over for the idea that has been generated. So that's for Lego. But folks, for everybody else who does not work at Lego, hope you enjoyed this episode of Influencer Matchmaking. We used insightIQ for all our data, for all our sourcing of how these creators are doing. Some very interesting numbers came up today, contrarian as well. So you should check it out and give it a spin. Right in the description box. We come up with these videos every week, so make sure that you subscribed. You've hit that red button. A lot of people have, and we're sure that you will also find value in 1,000 Faces powered by Phyllo. So make sure you're subscribed. We will come back with another video next week. Let us know in the comments if you liked our creators, if you liked Lego as a brand, and which brand would you like to cover next for this series. That's been it. My name is Shreevar.
my name is Shubham.
All right, we will see you next week.